Criminal breach of trust is a serious offence that pertains to the betrayal of trust by an individual who is entrusted with handling someone else's property. The occurrence of a breach has enduring implications for the reputation of both persons and organizations implicated, frequently leading to a significant financial, professional, and personal consequences. Assalamualaikum, I'm Adriana binti Adnan, and today I am excited to present an in-depth review of two articles that delves into a critical aspect of legal frameworks in both Malaysia and Australia. Without further ado, let's get into the first article written by Timothy Akarim. Now, our focus is on Shah Helmi Maula Muhammad Saleh, who is a 29-year-old former law firm accounts clerk. In brief, Shah Helmi stands accused of diverting a substantial sum of 192,353 ringgit 77 cents from Mrs. Asaya and Hisam's client account for personal use. The charges specifically point to two instances of misappropriation between August 2020 and June 2022. The charges include two counts of criminal breach of trust amounting to 75,793 ringgit 50 cents and 116,560 ringgit 27 cents, and separate charge of money laundering totaling 131,568 ringgit 10 cents. Now, if Shah Helmi is convicted and found guilty of these offences, he would face a range of possible sanctions from 1 to 14 years of imprisonment, corporal punishment in the form of whipping, and fines under Section 408 of the Penal Code. For the time being, the court has set bail at 20,000 ringgit for the CBT charges. Hence, legal proceedings would likely delve into Shah Helmi's involvement, motives behind misappropriation, and potential impacts on both the law firm and its clients. At the same time, this case raises serious concerns about the internal financial controls at Mrs. Asaya and Hisam. How could a significant breach of trust occur over an extended period without detection? The charges underscore the importance of robust internal controls and monitoring mechanisms within professional organizations. Now, let's shift our focus to the underlying causes and effects. Generally, the influence of organizational culture on employee behavior is crucial. Therefore, we can all agree that an environment that prioritizes ethical behavior, openness, and accountability is less likely to cultivate illegal conducts. However, if a culture prioritizes financial objectives over morality, it may unintentionally foster an atmosphere encouraging white-collar crimes such as criminal breach of trust. Moreover, another cause to this offence could be due to insufficient internal controls, a lack of oversight, and poor checks and balances, which provide opportunities for fraudulent actions to be undetected. In the case of Mrs. Asaya and Hisam, flaws in the firm system became an opportunity for Shah Helmi. Thus, his access to funds and the ease with which he exploited this access highlight the importance of proper safeguards. Now, let's explore the consequences where the alleged breach erodes clients' trust in law firms regarding their legal affairs and the safeguarding of financial resources, leading to potential revenue disruptions and contract violations. Simultaneously, media portrayal and public response exacerbate the erosion of the organization's public reputation, making it challenging to acquire new clients. Furthermore, reputational harm can persist well beyond the initial breach, affecting the organization's ability to restore confidence and position itself favorably in the market. On the other hand, externally, criminal breaches of trust have an immediate and significant effect on shareholder value for publicly traded corporations. The organization's share prices may exhibit increased levels of volatility due to investors' responses to the uncertainty surrounding the management of its finances. Here, I conclude that the implications of criminal breach of trust are far-reaching, affecting not only the individuals involved, but also the organizations, its clients, and its shareholders. Now, let's get into the second article reported by Henry below, shedding light on a concerning case of criminal breach of trust involving Peter Collins, the head of PwC Australia's International Tax Group. So, Collins' allegation traces back to his involvement in creating the Multinational Anti-Avoidance Law (MAAL) in 2015, which was aimed to prevent multinational enterprises from exploiting tax breaks. However, what unfolded was a breach of 3 different confidentiality agreements by Collins. He had disclosed sensitive treasury information to at least 53 PwC partners while working on MAAL, giving PwC a tactical advantage in advising clients on how to navigate the new tax legislation. The consequences were significant as PwC gained a financial advantage of at least $2.4 million by using confidential information to design strategies that not only undermined the integrity of MAL but also attracted new clients. Following the exposure, the Tax Practitioner Board took significant action by imposing a 2-year suspension on Collins' tax license due to integrity violations and an inability to handle conflicts of interest. In addition, the case prompted a political response advocating for rigorous regulatory measures. For instance, the Greens Party calls for the government to revoke PwC's registration as a tax agent for 2 years and an immediate prohibition on government contracts with PwC. Moreover, there is a call for PwC to reimburse the $2.5 million acquired from its American client, emphasizing the need for financial accountability. So, what could be the causes of such atrocious crime? Well, primarily it is due to the significant concern over the absence of ethical leadership within the firm. Ethical leadership plays a crucial role in shaping the organizational environment, fostering a value system that places a high emphasis on honesty and ethical standards. Hence, the absence of such leadership may have created an atmosphere where employees perceive unethical actions as accepted or even indirectly endorsed. Moreover, the ability of Peter Collins to commit the offense can be attributed to the inadequate implementation of corporate governance principles. This claim is supported by Kristen Stubbins, the acting CEO of PwC Australia, who acknowledged the firm's lack of sufficient processes and governance, raising questions about the effectiveness of corporate governance in overseeing ethical behavior and mitigating risk. Now, what are the effects of such an offense? Similar to the previous case, the scandal not only represents a legal transgression but further undermines public confidence in the ethical conduct of financial organizations. At the same time, the breach of trust with the intention of evading tax rules has the potential to lead to a decline in tax revenue for the Australian government. According to an article written by Kate Ainsworth, the absence of tax payments from large foreign corporations, if persistent, would have resulted in a $180 million deficit for the Australian economy, impacting public services and infrastructure development. In response, the Government of Australia has taken multiple initiatives and preventive measures where there is a substantial surge in penalties imposed on tax consultants attempting to circumvent tax regulations, rising from $7.8 million to $780 million. This would be a 100% increment from its previous amount. Now, what can be done to prevent such crimes from occurring in the future? For the case involving Shah Helmi, it is crucial for the legal firm to prioritize establishment of a clear segregation of duties framework within its financial operations, where separate individuals should handle transaction initiation and approval, which then reduces the risk of unauthorized access and potential misconduct. Additionally, implementing a dual authorization protocol on top of the segregation of duties is essential. This mandates the participation of a minimum of 2 authorized personnel, introducing an extra level of inspection and mitigating the potential for unauthorized transactions. Now, turning our attention to the case involving Peter Collins and the PwC, the transgressions underscore the need for comprehensive measures to address legal, regulatory, and ethical aspects. Firstly, the Australian federal government should establish barriers prohibiting the association of tax practitioners board members with prominent tax firms to prevent further breaches of confidentiality that could impact the nation's economy. In my opinion, this was the origin and the root cause of the crime. Secondly, the code of conduct for practitioners should also undergo revisions to ensure advisors maintain the confidentiality of sensitive government information and refrain from exploiting such knowledge for personal or business gain. Furthermore, PwC should engage in a thorough examination and strengthening of its corporate governance procedures, including routine audits and assessments of internal controls to detect and rectify any weaknesses. Last but not least, fostering a culture of openness and accountability could be achieved through the establishment of an autonomous ethics committee or the implementation of an ombudsman function. This provides staff a confidential platform to report ethical concerns, ensuring protection against potential retaliation. To conclude, the concept of criminal violation of trust has a close relationship with corporate governance, which serves as the fundamental pillar of ethical business behavior. In this era of heightened scrutiny and accountability, the journey towards resilient and ethical grounded corporate governance is not just a strategic choice but an ethical imperative that will shape the future landscape of organizational success and public confidence. That will be all from me. Thank you very much.